The third P, final P that we're going to talk about today is being present. And that's not just in your relationship, that's in life, being in the moment. We talked about being a provider, protector, and being present. Here's a definition of being present, and we'll open it up for discussion. To be focused and engaged in the here and now and be in the moment, not distracted, not on your phone, not looking all over the place, be in the moment. We all know that relationships fail due to a lack of communication and understanding and listening and being actively engaged. So this is totally your wheelhouse, Jennelle. Yeah. So I have Jennelle time on my card right here. What does it mean to be present for a man? Not even just in a relationship, but just in modern life today, with all the distractions you have going on. What does it mean for a man to be present?
It's unmovable, unshakable, unfuckwithable in his connection to his purpose, period, the end. Like, there is no moving him. Even the most badass chick cannot take you off your purpose. Nothing can. You are, it's all, you know, they say like athletes and stuff, they don't see, it's like they have blinders on.
Tunnel
vision, right? When you're on your fight. Even if the hottest chick with the biggest ass came in, you're like, you don't see her. You're so connected. I say presence, directed, connected, focused energy towards each other in relationships, but in this moment towards your purpose. So if a man, like, and for women, that is like intoxicatingly delicious. You're like, oh my God. If he's that committed to his purpose, he is going to be that committed to me and children, and et cetera, in the future. Right? If you're easily shaken, or you, I think we talked about it on one of the shows, like you blow up and you fly off the handle and you just lose it and you can't like maintain your composure and be, because you know, you get more you catch more flies with honey, right? Having that composure, but still being like fully engrossed in your purpose. Nothing can shake you. That is what I know is the definition of a man being connected to his purpose. Now, in a relationship, it's a little different, right? Because you have another human being, and human beings are unpredictable, right? In relationships, I have to disagree with you, Adam. They don't end for lack of communication. And what are the other things you said? Communication, something else?
Well, mostly communication. Well, obviously money and everything. What else are you going to say?
Relationships do not end for lack of any of those things. They end for lack of sexual polarity, period, the end.
Not sex, sexual
polarity. Sexual polarity.
What about money? There's like a big thing with like money
100%
too, right?
money.
Yeah, all of that. Listen, if you are, money is a byproduct of the sexual polarity being gone. If you are like for real legit, there's that traction, like when you meet your girl, like what you're like drawn to her, right? Like you feel this magnetization that makes you want to have sex with her, want to connect with her, want to spend time with her. You like want to be with her almost all the time, but then you're like, okay, I have my purpose too. So you gotta stay over there. Let me do my purpose. I'll make time for you. I spoon feed you in. Because if a man goes, when we're like, I need a man all in, I'm like, I don't want a man all in. I don't want a man that sees me all the time. If a man is seeing me all the time, there's something wrong with him. Because that means he's not on his purpose. Because I'm sorry, if you're making stacks of cash, hand over fist cash, there's effort that's involved in that. You need to be, you know, hands-on or managing teams, right? So sexual polarity, when you don't have that attraction anymore towards your partner, you don't want to be with him. You become roommates. Don't kid yourself. So in relationships, people are like, oh, we're best friends. We always get along. There's no fighting. I'm like, you're not fucking then. I know that for sure. And if you are, it's terrible.
What is the fighting and the fucking? What's the correlation there?
It's traction. It's like that. Magnets. What do? They come together. So if a magnet is just like this all the time, you're just on top of each other. You need to have that separateness, masculine energy.
There can't be attraction if they're on top of each other.
Together.
There can't be any attraction.
Correct.
If what?
Look, using the magnet analogy.
Yeah.
If they're on top of each other, there can't be any attraction.
There's no
attraction.
There's nowhere to go.
We're best friends. We never fight. We get along all the time.
He's fucking other hoes, and she's talking to another. 1,000%.
Wow.
Because listen, So we're talking about, yes, money is like the straw that broke the camel's back. But if you're madly in love and you have that passion and you want to be on your purpose all day, come home and fuck, and then put the kids to bed, and then wake up in the morning and fuck again, and she's in the middle of the night waking up and sucking your dick, and I know everyone gets on me for that, but you know what I'm saying. There's passion there.
Yeah.
So what are they fighting about then?
So there's just little stuff. We talked about it today on the podcast, like, oh, like, honey, you missed a spot. What do you mean I missed a spot?
The
Like,
toilet thing.
Just little things that keep you. If you have a
Little
relationship,
little bits of deliberate drama. Sprinkled in.
disagreements. Because if it is all cookies and cream and everyone's happy, then that's a friendship. That's a roommate.
Yeah.
If you're not, listen, I heard this stat the other day on marriages today. Around 20 to 30% of people in marriages today think it's normal to have sex 10 times a year.
What? Whoa.
10 times
I thought you were going to say a day.
No,
that's crazy.
That's and check my stats.
A year?
A year. That might be off
Who came up
slightly.
with
I think
that?
it's like it's 20 to 30% in that range.
Oh my
That
God.
is what married couples today are thinking is normal in sex,
That's
or
less
what
than
they're
once a
multiple
month.
times a
That's
day.
insanity.
Yikes.
So
Yeah.
the money is just the byproduct of the sexual polarity is gone. If you love a girl and you guys are having passionate sex, you're gonna figure the money shit out.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of
When
sense.
it's- yeah,
Should a
that's
woman go home and just start a fight with her man today? And
No.
then
Also,
Sterling.
This has to come.
That's
This
what
has-
should happen?
That's
Okay, a
natural.
happy, healthy,
Playful.
a happy
Yeah.
relationship will be one in which the man is deliberately creating a little bit of drama.
little drama,
Because
playful.
if the woman is creating the drama, so like the analogy I like to use is an emotional roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
Roller coasters have ups and downs. Sorry, John.
Yeah.
Ups and downs, right? Women need the downs. You fundamentally do. If everything is up and happy constantly,
you get bored.
it's super
and
duper
you're
boring
gonna
for
fi-
women.
and you're gonna find Tyrone.
Right? You're gonna find another dude who's gonna create some drama. Or
Tyrone, you stay the hell away from my girl. Brother.
But
If I find you, Tyrone,
Oh my God.
or you're gonna deliberately inject an argument or drama into the relationship just to create that negative polarity somewhere.
correct. So
So
women
if the
will
dude's
pick
in charge of
fights,
it, it's happy.
It's managed.
Because he's in control of the show.
but women will pick fights with men just to get their presence. So you have to understand that. And so you have to, this is where a man stays connected to his purpose. If a woman's picking a fight with you and she loves you, don't lose it. Just engage and flirt and be playful. Oh, honey, really? Not, why are you always, don't match her energy and become feminine. So that's where men lose it. You just,
I want to stay on one thing.
Yeah.
This concept of the sexual polarity and the friendship. So, girl I'm seeing, she's like, I think we're like such good friends and we have all this going on and we're obviously dating and
yeah.
having sex. And I go, I just want to be clear with you.
we're not friends.
We are not friends.
Yeah, we're not friends.
Like, I have homies for that. I have girlfriends for that,
have
like
girlfriends.
friends. I do not want to be
friends.
your friend.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm not trying to
Good. I'm
friend
glad
you
you
up.
put that
Friends
down.
on the
Yeah,
internet.
I'm not like, don't get it twisted. We are not friends. Well, what do you mean we're not friends? You're not my friend.
You're not my friend.
I enjoy everything we're doing, the sex, the fun, the activities, the dating, relationships. You ain't my homie.
That's correct.
Wow.
And there was this argument. What do you mean? I'm just like, yeah.
You're not. Because
Like-
you want a best friend. And people are like, I married my best friend. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that marriage is going to end.
Wow.
Like 1,000%.
So are we all on the same page here that the man and the woman in the relationship shouldn't be
You want
best friends?
tension
Yeah.
all the time. That means sleeping separate sometimes too.
You know the Jewish do that?
Correct.
Muslims
And
do
and
that
the
too.
the
The
tantrics
Orthodox,
do that.
yeah.
So
What
they
is
do
it?
not.
Sleeping in
We don't
separate beds.
And the tantrics don't either. We have, if you have money, you have separate homes. But separate homes, separate rooms, and never the two shall cross. Once in a while, we're like, okay, we'll sleep together this one night. But your polarities, it's having to do with energy. It's a little esoteric, but your energy bodies mesh at night. And that's why they say, like, remember we were talking about grandparents and great-grandparents.
Yeah.
You know, they start looking like one another. And you don't want that.
No.
You want to always keep that sexual polarity alive. If you do nothing else in life, keep sexual polarity alive and you will have your partner forever.
Last question with this, and then I want to open it up. But so what is the ideal balance? We talked about a man shouldn't be home too often. He should be out there. What is the ideal balance between a man who's kind of like needy and clingy? Certainly women are associated with that. But a man who's like all up in your mix and like up your butt
Yeah.
versus he just lets you do your thing, respects your space, your independence. What's a good balance with that?
Never thought about that.
At
Well,
what point do you feel neglected?
Yeah.
As a woman, you're saying.
That's what I'm
Okay,
trying
go
to
ahead,
piggyback
ladies.
off your
At what
question
point do
there,
you feel neglected?
Because that would be the opposite of like needy is one end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And you're neglected is because he's not paying you
Yeah.
any attention at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Where's that sweet spot?
Or you're saying like, or overprotective, where they're like, text me here, text me when you get here, da da da, and then the other end of the spectrum.
I'd probably classify that as on the needy.
Is that in the
end of
medium?
spectrum.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say like if here's my personal thoughts on this. If a guy is like like text me, obviously like either one, he's guilty of this, or two, and it depends on what kind of relationship you have. That's for y'all to decide. Or two, he's insecure. A real man, an alpha man isn't like, where's my girl? I need her to check. He just knows, like, in the interview with Mike, he's like, he kind of came after Rolo, and he's like, there's no parallel universe in this world where Rolo could take any of my girls, but I could take any woman he's associated with. And so for a man to have that much confidence, or is like, be around my girl, like she's not like, you're not going to get her, because you know that woman, yes, I said it, belongs to you. Like her life, her heart, her soul, her spirit, her sex, her body is yours. So that level of confidence means you're not like sweating her, but I would say like it's a happy balance of like, hey, if you're, I don't know about locations, all that, that's another show, but like, hey, if you know she's out at night, like, hey, I'm gonna call you, not even text me, hey, are you straight? You know, checking in and things like that. Being a protector, but not being a creep and not being a needy. Yeah. A needy, like, that's a woman.
Let me frame the question a different way.
Yeah,
okay.
'cause that's kind
So let's say you're a really busy dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on. You're working. You're making money. You're traveling. There's a million different things you got going on.
So you.
So yeah. So when you're not with your girl, it's almost like out of sight, out of mind.
Correct.
Kinda. I'm not checking it.
You're on your purpose.
I'm on my I'm not even using me as an example, but use me as an example.
We
That's
are.
fine. So let's say you only see your girl once or twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
To overcompensate for your lack of presence,
Mm-hmm.
should you be more, up her butt, or is it like, do you still need to kind of maintain frame? You see what I'm saying here?
I would
It's like,
say-
I haven't seen you in 6 days, so I'm going to be a little over aggressive and clingy, or it's it like, no, play it too cool for school
Just
because you're only seeing her once a
That's
week.
right.
But
What's
this
the
is like the
balance?
dating scene. Like,
What's that?
This is like the dating.
The dating,
Commit-
yeah.
you're committed
And
or
even
dating?
even if you're married,
Commit.
you might have this type
I
of
think
dynamic.
it's good. Have time away. Don't see her for 6 days.
Yeah.
Don't see her for 10 days. That's great. It's great for sexual polarity. But when you're with her, be fucking with her.
Present.
The
not on your
phone is gone.
Yep.
Your work, have someone else handle that, because you're missing 6 or 7 days, which is great. Build sexual polarity. But when she is the focus. So you don't need to kiss her ass. Just be a man's presence will break a woman.
So
She's got-
drop everything you're doing when you're with her.
Yes,
Yeah.
and when you're not, I don't think you should be up her ass.
Okay, so let's go deeper. Let's say you're with her, but you still have work stuff to do. Mm-hmm. Should you actively not put the phone down, put the laptop down, stop making the calls because you're with the girl, and now it's like
Don't be
you're
with her if you have work to do.
Yeah,
if
like
you're
it should be
home-
me, like us time.
If you're home and you have work to do, just tell her like, hey, honey, I'm going to work for the next 3 hours or whatever. And when I'm done, come over or we'll meet or whatever.
Very
Never
important.
should the two cross.
Yeah, very important right there for you
Yes.
busy men out there, because
A real woman will respect that. He's on
Yeah.
his purpose. He's making coin. That means when
Yeah.
he's going to take care of me or is taking care of me and kids, etc.
okay.
A woman's always thinking about
Yeah.
that.
No.
If she wants extra brownie points, she can suck his dick while he's working.
I've done that before. That's a great thing to
Of
do.
course, Sterling and Jennelle are gonna go. All right, well,
I'm gonna agree on that.
great advice from the great Sterling. Last question on this. I know, so there's one more. Talk about men being in touch with their feminine side, right? Some women these days, they want a man who's in touch with his feminine side and has empathy and everything that kind of comes with that. He understands me. He's there for me. There's an element of being present, but also being a man in that. When does it become, like, when is it appropriate for a man to be over empathetic, even cry as a man, or like express how tough his day was? When is it attractive and when does it become unattractive? Like, is there any point where a man being in touch with his feminine side is attractive? And at what point is it like, all right, now you're being a pussy, bro?
I think
What's that perfect balance?
It depends on where the relationship you're at. If this is your wife, your queen, I think that a man should have a safe place to come home and to be able to let his armor down.
Yeah.
And just be like, baby, this happened. And women do not give advice. Don't give advice to men. They don't need your emotional advice. Just listen, embrace, honor whatever he needs. A blowjob was great. All these things are great. So I think for a wife or a committed monogamous relationship, that's okay to show that quote weakness, or just him saying, hey, men have it hard. They're out in the world every day with their armor up. And then they still have to be Shiva, but then they still have to be soft for women to take. I don't like the idea of feminine, like you say, I need to be in touch. No, you don't. You're fine. But when you're first dating, I wouldn't necessarily display that side.
Okay. Kayla, your thoughts, and then Linda. Men being in touch with his feminine
I've
side.
only had one experience where like a man like cried about something that, you know, we were talking about me, and I've never experienced this before. So this was really interesting. It was me talking about something that I had been through sexually with an old partner of mine that like made me feel really uncomfortable and like just really crossed my boundaries. And there was just a lot of stuff that went with that. And like he teared up talking about it and was like I feel your pain, you know. And he told me, he's like, at that moment, you like, I was like, I could feel her, I feel connected to her, I feel one with her, I feel like I want to take care of her and provide for her. And I've never experienced that before. I've heard of anything like that before. So I don't know if that would be necessarily like feminine to be crying. I felt like,
were you more attracted to him in that moment because
his vulnerability was so sexy to me, you know, like the vulnerability was sexy. And then he went,
because it came from that place of him being a protector.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah. It was really beautiful. So I don't know if that relates to feminine, because he was going straight into masculine, but it was really beautiful.
Sterling, go deeper there. When is it appropriate for you as a man, as a protector, as a provider, as a man who understands being present? When is it appropriate for you to let your guard down and really show your emotions, even cry to that extent? How do you handle that?
I mean, I wouldn't cry in front of a woman. I mean, obviously, okay, like if
your mother dies.
Yeah, if a family member passed away and I just found out, I'm probably gonna.
Of course.
It's gonna be hard for me to hold back that level of emotion. Sure.
There's a difference between being emotional and having emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that would be.
Like nobody wants to date a freaking robot.
Like a robot. Your
That's
mom
me having an
like
emotion.
shed a
Exactly.
tear.
Okay.
My mom just died.
Yeah.
I will never cry. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
But I'm not gonna go to her and unload that stuff, because that's not my. I don't see that as my job.
You don't want her to be your shoulder to cry on.
Yeah, I've got guy friends for that.
Yeah.
Like if I really have a problem that's irking me, I'm gonna go to my friends, my guy friends about this, because they're gonna help me with the solution. They're gonna be able to understand it, relate to it a lot more, and all that really does for her is show her that I have, like, you know, maybe weaknesses and vulnerabilities, and so she just can trust me less, really, if I show her that. But if I'm just like, look, I've got it, don't worry, I'll take care of it. This might be a problem, but I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
If I can present that face to my woman, then she can have trust and faith in me that I will eventually solve all of our problems together.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I love when Sterling speaks to women are like, yeah.
One more thing I'll... Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
Didn't cut you off. One more thing I'll add is that I personally have a problem with this idea of telling men to get in touch with their feminine side, because it paints this picture of men being incomplete or wrong in some way. Like, fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with you as a man.
Yeah, there's not.
So stop pretending like you're missing something because
Such
you're
a
not
good
in touch
point,
with your feminine.
Sterling, because men are encouraged oftentimes by women to get in touch with their feminine side.
But
And it's sexy and be feminine. But you never hear men saying, baby, get in touch with your masculine
They
side.
never say that.
I really want you to be more
stop.
alpha. Want you to be more masculine.
Yeah.
That's the last thing that we want from our woman.
Women-
Toughen up, babe. No. Soften up.
Soften up,
honey.
please.
You know, like, no. So,
I like that.
you know, we have this concept of double standards, and in no way, shape, or form do I want my woman to toughen up and be more masculine. Why would you want your man to, you know, loosen up or soften up and be more feminine?
Yeah.
talked about
It's the
sexual
agenda,
polarity
it's the
and
agenda
the
of
energy.
it, yeah.
So, you know what? We're getting on the same page here,
Yeah.
guys. So if you like that clip, click right here to watch another. Or if you want to watch the entire Soscast, click right here.